That's right. I saw one of you in chat. I saw one of you in chat asking for some spirit science content, and you know what? Sure. Why not? Let's go over to the Spirit Science channel and see what's shaking. All right, so we've got Spirit Science channel with 1.5 million subscribers, and well, let's take a look at one of the recent episodes. Spirit Science 31, Secrets of the Moon. Let's learn about the moon together, folks. Let's learn about... oh god, the other one is Unlock the Pineal Gland. People like this believe like the pineal gland hardens and closes your third eye and like robs you of your spiritual potential. So you need to unlock it.
Man, I love the moon. Would you say the moon is masculine or feminine?
Spiritually speaking, I've most often heard that it embodies female energy.
Me too, but we have Mother Nature full of life and creation. Wouldn't the moon be the father?
Yeah, you might think so. However, our celestial father is most definitely the sun. It's because of our father above and our mother below that allows all of this life to exist.
Yeah, the moon's more like our, I don't know, bastard stepchild, I guess. Spiritually speaking, of course.
The moon is actually neither, which makes me think it must be more like a cousin. But perhaps what's more curious about old Lady Luna...
What does that mean? That's no moon. But what does that mean? What does it mean to be spiritually like a... What is that? We're already so far off the rails of like what any of this might mean.
That her existence has actually never been explained by modern science.
Who needs science to explain things?
Right. I mean, I know you don't. But isn't it interesting?
What? I mean, sure, why rely on science to explain things when you can simply make it all the fuck up? I guess is a counter argument that I hadn't considered. I'm unprepared for that. Cool. Checkmate, atheists.
That using science we can build nuclear weapons, but cannot even explain this most ancient entity that floats at our doorstep?
Also, there are explanations for how the moon came to exist. There are a bunch of them. We just haven't been able to test them yet. If you talk to astronomers and physicists, there are hypotheses and like explanations for that. And I guess you could be forgiven for not knowing that if you're like a middle schooler and you just had one class of science under your belt.
What's stranger, the moon is actually far too big to be a natural satellite of the Earth.
What?
If I'm not mistaken, there is not...
What? There are bigger moons.
A single other planet in our solar system whose moon compares in ratio to our own Earth-moon ratio.
Yeah, but there are also bigger moons out there. You can find objects with bigger ratios, like when you're talking about Pluto and its oh god, I forget the name of its companion body. But like there are other ratios out there. Yeah, Charon, thank you.
Our moon is actually larger than Pluto. The current leading theory in science is that something like a Mars-sized planet like rock came out of nowhere and hit the Earth.
Oh, okay, wait. So there is an explanation that you immediately launched into telling us.
If something has to be qualified with a prefix like alternative or complementary or cleansing, it's bunk. Alternative science just means not science.
Exactly. It's not science. Thank you for the $10 super chat, One-Eyed Heathen. Very much appreciated. You all are currently 5 subs away from unlocking our additional content.
And it became the moon. And when those physics didn't work out, they came up with a new theory.
Wait, what do you mean when the physics didn't work out? That, to my knowledge, that is still the presiding theory.
It said that the same planet-like rock-like thing hits the planet, bounces around, and then hits it again, and then becomes the moon. Needless to say, the physics still didn't work.
It does, though? Here's literally, this is from 2022 from NASA.
dance for goal.
Just one Sake Tanuki. Thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. You guys have officially unlocked the next phase after this, but we are going to finish it. Also, isn't this model neat? I just think it's cool. I think science is neat. Isn't the universe like a cool place? This is another cool science video, but like unrelated. Unironically, could watch this forever. Honestly, right? Like, if you guys ever need like some visual stimulus, go to NASA and look up NASA's YouTube channel for like their research center. They have just a bunch of models with like chill music, like just models of different scientific phenomenon that they use their supercomputer to emulate, and it's pretty cool. It's a vibe. Speaking of vibes, back to whatever the hell's happening here.
Well, what the hell? Is there more?
Well, now that you ask, have you ever heard anything about it being hollow?
Hollow?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've got the details somewhere here.
Oh
Let's see.
my god. Are we getting Hollow Earth? I actually did not know Spirit Science was a hollow earther. Let's go. Journey to the center of the earth. Let's go, baby.
Here it is. In November of 1969, NASA crashed a lunar module into the moon, causing the equivalent of 1 ton of TNT. NASA said that the moon reverberated like a gong for half an hour.
Oh my
Then
god.
they did it again, causing an impact of 11.5 tons of TNT, and it rang like a bell for over 4 hours.
Oh my god.
It vibrated in a way as if it were hollowed out, with giant hydraulic damper struts inside of it.
Wowza.
Yeah, because something vibrating means that it's hollow. It has an advanced hydraulic system under the surface. Oh boy. Okay.
Too easy.
Want to know something else?
Always.
The surface of the moon contains minerals like titanium, but also processed metals like brass and mica. It also contains something called uranium-236 and neptunium, which are
Yeah, all of that can form naturally.
both minerals that have never been found to occur naturally. Uranium
That's just not true.
236 is a long-lived nuclear waste that appears in spent nuclear fuel.
There are natural nuclear reactions that take place in the world around us. One of a fascinating rabbit hole to go down sometime if you're ever bored is natural nuclear reactors, which is when like just the conditions become right by random chance underground and things start generating radioactivity. It's really interesting.
And neptunium is a radioactive byproduct of nuclear reactors when plutonium is being created. This means that at least some of the rocks...
No, it doesn't mean that there are nuclear reactors on the moon. It just means that at some point in the past there were natural nuclear reactions as a result of the minerals and materials in like the structure of the moon. That happens on Earth too. Here, Science History Institute Museum and Library. Let's take a look just real quick. The world's only natural nuclear reactor article from 2 years ago. What a bizarre sight in Africa. 1.7 billion year old completely natural nuclear reactor says about the future of energy production on planet Earth. It's interesting. I'll link this here, but yeah, this can absolutely happen naturally in nature.
Rocks on the moon are most likely synthetic. And while it's only a theory, I wouldn't say it's illogical to come to the conclusion that it could be artificially created.
That's really intense.
Also, you know the crazy
Yes. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy approach to moon creation. Gotcha.
Craters on the moon?
Intimately.
Well, craters should vary in depth due to the size and impact of the various spaces.
Yeah, like there are exactly, Mithril. Like obvious, like an object vibrates when you hit it with something. That's true of any object in the universe. It's true of our planet. An earthquake is like seismic sized vibrations through the crust of the earth. Like that's a thing that happens all the time. It's not an indicator that our planet is hollow.
Rocks that hit them, right? We can tell that there was a difference in the meteor sizes that hit the moon by the diameters of each crater. And yet, how come all of them, across the board, are the same depth?
Mother of...
They aren't the same depth, but also because objects hitting at different speeds are going to result in different depths, but also there are limits to how deep something will go. Generally, there are going to be averages of strike speed and size. And so when you see random crater number 567, like it's going to conform to a general set of depth, but you're also going to see deeper ones for deeper, harder impacts.
God, an impenetrable shell. Look at that quote from a NASA scientist. It's easier to explain the non-existence of the moon than to explain its existence.
Ha ha ha. Better not check anything else NASA's said since then.
Here's another one. The best explanation for the moon is observational error. The moon does not exist.
Yeah, better not look up anything else astrophysicists have to say on the subject. Those two quotes, they got you covered. You don't need a degree. You don't need to look up and read anything. Those two quotes, good enough.
Oh, here. Read this part here.
David Icke's research led him to shaman around the world. Zulu tribes speak of the moon being an egg. They symbolize it to be an egg for good reason. The ancient African and Sumerian legends talk of two brothers, Wawan and Mpanku, that emptied out the yolk and rolled the moon across the sky to the earth and caused cataclysmic events hundreds of generations before our time.
I'm not sure how it fits.
Who is trying to say this? David Icke?
Oh, here. Read this part here.
David Icke's research led him...
Who's David Icke? Oh, this is probably the guy. Former footballer and sports broadcaster. Let's take a look. He claimed in 1991 that he was the son of the Godhead and the world would soon be devastated by tidal waves and earthquakes. His appearance led to public ridicule. Books Icke wrote for the next 11 years developed his worldview of a New Age conspiracy. Reactions to his endorsement of an anti-Semitic fabrication, the protocols of the Elders of Zion in Robots Rebellion, and The Truth Shall Set You Free led to his publisher to decline further books. And he has self-published since then because he keeps endorsing the protocols of the Elders of Zion. You know, one of the first anti-Semitic conspiracies, like in like the 1800s, 1700s, to gain like mass acknowledgement. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we're doing some like Holocaust denialism in here. Yeah, he talks about the Anunnaki. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep. He's denied the Holocaust. And has argued that Holocaust denial should be taught in schools. That's a direct quote. That's insane. Holy shit. Okay, but yeah, well, if this guy says something's true, that's clearly...
...to shaman around the world. Zulu tribes speak of the moon being an egg. They symbolize it to be an egg for good reason. The ancient African and Sumerian legends talk of two brothers, Wawan and Mpanku, that emptied out the yolk and rolled the moon across the sky to the earth and caused cataclysmic events hundreds of generations before our time.
I'm not sure how it fits, but this says here that the rocks on the moon are older than the Earth itself.
Heavens. You know, I think I've only ever seen...
David Icke appeared on Penn and Teller's BS show where he kept talking about proof of the existence of aliens. That was like season 1. But like, all these people talk about having the proof, but they never have proof. You know, it's wild. I happen to believe that if you think the moon is hollow, you should be able to demonstrate that.
Seen one side of the moon. I wonder why it doesn't spin like other planets.
That's a good question. On that topic too, have you ever noticed that the size and position of the moon is exactly in the right place to create a perfect solar eclipse?
This is injecting a lot of cognitive cancer into my brain, and it's getting difficult.
That's so intense. You know, the moon actually holds the Earth in a sideways tilt. If we didn't have the moon, we wouldn't have the same length of days or nights.
Yes, if things were different, they sure would be different.
Or experience the 4 seasons like we do. It also intimately controls the tides.
You're right.
You know, if the sun stopped existing tomorrow, we'd be dead in minutes. It's, you know, like wow, yeah. When you think about it that way, it's so profound.
Just like the tides, it even bends the water in our bodies. That's why on nights of the full moon, there's always an increase of violent crimes. And probably passionate love.
Probably. You know, what if we just imagine that to be true?
It used to be a legal defense to say that one was moonstruck.
Do you think
Yeah, and that was kind of bullshit, wasn't it? You know, the used to be is carrying a lot of weight here when that's not a good excuse for doing anything, actually.
these things were deliberately introduced to the Earth? Maybe for a purpose?
It's a possibility.
What do you think that purpose could be?
Oh, snap!
They say that the beings who put it there were trying to bring a new frequency to the planet, or maybe even provide us with some sort of resonation or gravitational wave that was vital for our survival. I've read that the Earth isn't even in the right place in the solar system anymore.
If my grandmother had wheels, she'd have been a bicycle.
Salmon Moose, thank you for the $5 dono. Anything's possible when you just say shit and don't care about whether it's true or not. Yes, the aliens put the moon directly where it is so that it could serve as a shield for us from the rest of the galaxy because our planet was knocked out of alignment, probably by evil beings from Mars. Let's see if we find that out.
The story goes that at one point, the Earth used to exist between Mars and Jupiter.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It may have even
I
been
might be
slightly
right.
larger than it is today.
I might be right.
But it was hit, and it flew off course, creating the asteroid belt, which is mostly frozen water and rock debris, and wound up in a new orbit, right here. But because of the impact of what happened, this planet was going to die, and it needed some help to keep it spinning and keep its orbit proper. And thus, the moon was put there by some advanced alien race or a higher form of consciousness who saw it as a requirement for the planet's survival.
Why believe any of this? This is just like hallucinogenic nonsense that has no proof. This is as true as saying like, yes, like the Maiar sang the moon into being with their mighty magics that later would go on to flow through the form of Gandalf the Grey. Like, yes, the hobbits emerged from the primordial space tree in order to summon a shield to protect our planet from the evil forces of Zargon. And it's like, well, wait a minute, but like, we have no evidence of that, so we shouldn't believe any of that. If we have evidence, maybe believe that. We don't have evidence to that effect.
Maybe even our own survival, which would explain why the Earth-to-Moon ratio is found within the human energy field. Then, events such as the falling of Atlantis and rising back to consciousness could take place
Just a casual name drop of Atlantis being real.
under circumstances that otherwise couldn't have happened.
That's really amazing. Wait, did you say that
Yeah, that sounds really, really out there. That sounds absolutely unbelievable.
human geometries match the Earth and the Moon ratio?
Hey, I think you're really gonna love this. In Drimbleau's Flower of Life books, he shows these drawings here. As you can see, this is the Egg of Life, mapped over Leonardo da Vinci's Canon of Man, along with a proportionate 8x8 grid. Around the Egg of Life, you see 2 rings. This is the...
The Egg of... Yeah, everyone, the Egg of Life. Come on, get together with the Egg of Life program, guys. You two, are you finding eggs too expensive in the supermarket? Well, get in on this Egg of Life.
Zona pellucida, the membrane around the structure.
Okay, so I get that those things are important sacred geometry that are connected.
It doesn't mean anything. It's just mathematical. It's just like mathematical like ratios. It doesn't have an actual effect on reality. This is like yes, we can count by tens. It's satisfying, but it's not like an intrinsic fact about the world.
Somehow, but I don't see the link yet.
It's okay, we're just getting started. First, we have to identify the male and female side of the equation.
What?
On the top level, you have a circle and a...
That doesn't mean anything. there's not a male side of an equation or a female side of an equation because an equation is just a mathematical proof. God damn it.
Square. They fractal down to the 8 physical spheres and the 8x8 grid of squares. See how you can draw a circle that fits perfectly inside of these circles, and you'll get a circle that's just slightly smaller than the 4 squares put together? It just so happens to also fit perfectly around the edge, balancing between the inner circles and the outer larger circle. Now, if we take...
Man, wait until someone introduces this guy to fractals. He's gonna lose his goddamn mind.
Take the 4 squares and use them as a measure, we can create a new circle, slightly larger than the smaller one we just drew. If we move
Screaming
it to the top,
in math
it pushes
major.
out beyond the inner circle a little bit, and what we're left with is the inner and outer edge of the zona pellucida, and a delineation of the human energy field.
Good job,
This is
Eddie.
the
You
location
counted
of the
by
13th
tens.
chakra, by the way, at the very top of our energy field.
Ah, the locations of the chakra. Of course. Of course.
Space! Of course!
Above our head. Now, nobody knows where this next part I'm about to show you actually comes from. The earliest source, Lawrence Blair, claims that he got it from older work. But using the tip of the zona pellucida as a radial point between it and the square to create a new sphere, this then delineates the field of the 13th chakra.
Like, I'm sorry. If you ever hear someone talking like this, you need to not... You need to, like, distance yourself from them because, like, they're not a safe person to be around. This is nonsense.
Ratio between
Where did you hide your chakra today? I hid it next to my clown chakra. I have to be very careful. If I jiggle that clown chakra, you know, disaster ensues.
this new sphere, and a sphere based off of this square, the physical form of the Earth, is the exact same ratio as that of the Earth and the Moon. You'll also notice, too, that the zona pellucida has actually merged with the square around the body and planet to create...
What can men do against such reckless lying? I don't know, develop some amount of riz that allows you to realize when someone's rizzing you up for a scam.
the phi ratio. It's a bridge to a higher consciousness.
Whoa. So what's the importance of these numbers?
In the circle and square diagram, to create the phi ratio, the circumference of a circle must be equal to the perimeter of a square. When you calculate the perimeter of the square that would be around the physical Earth, it comes to 31,680 miles, which is the diameter of the Earth times 4. To get the circle around the Earth is a little bit more tricky because you have the Moon's involvement. You have to imagine the Moon is perfectly placed.
Yeah, like, sacred geometry is just... How do I put this? It is taking pattern recognition, like basic pattern recognition, and giving it visual pattern recognition, I mean, and pairing that with numerology. It's just the, I guess, geometric version of numerology. It's meaningless, you know, in any kind of way of getting us to something true. I think you can look at patterns and find them visually pleasing, but that doesn't speak to some kind of like profound spiritual truth intrinsic to the universe. And it's just pattern recognition gone awry, you know? How do we get this guy some psychiatric help? I mean, this guy has been accused of some pretty heinous shit. So I don't know. I think it's fine to just make fun of this guy.
The fun or work.
It's math without the fun or work. Indeed, Sakit the Nurki. Thank you for the 2 tier 1 subs. Like I make these videos, right? Because I think it is good to denounce this type of thinking. This is a very prominent mode of thinking in conservative circles, new age, you know, crystal mommy circles. And it's how you get kind of like those new age, like spiritual, esoteric Nazis, you know? And I think we need to be outspoken about this shit when we see it. And it's just, this guy's easy to make fun of. He's an easy target to turn into a vehicle for, hey, don't fall for this. Please, don't fall for this.
I just returned to male and female side of the equation. What does that even mean? Are limits genderqueer? When we start factoring equations, is that gender affirming care or something?
Genuinely, it doesn't make sense unless you buy into their nonsense already. You already have to be onboarded into this shit in order to just like not blink when they say things like that and just like roll with it. You can't think about any one part of this too much, otherwise it all falls apart. You know, if you have a single question at any point when listening to a spiel like this, you need to like follow that up. You know, you need to do like some classic Google debunking.
Google debunkers.
Because ultimately, if you had a question like in that first minute when they're talking about like, oh, look at these NASA scientists unable to explain that, there should be like a little voice in your head that's like, is that true? And then you Google debunk it.
Google debunkers.
And you find out that in fact, NASA and astrophysics at large have explanations for the creation of the moon. And you realize, oh, this person's just full of shit. Like that should be your major off-ramp from falling for this. But like really at any point, stopping and asking a question about this and genuinely pursuing a tangible answer rooted in our material reality is going to serve as another one of those potential off-ramps.
Against the Earth without going into it at all. Then we take the diameter of...
Oh, I can confirm, Celestial Heart writes, oh, I can confirm that. My cousin started getting violently angry when people would disagree with her or just state basic facts that counter shit like chemtrails. Yeah, exactly. Not mad. I love weird cult brain rot. Jack knows if she fires up happy signs, I'm gonna dono. Hell yeah.
The Earth and the diameter of the moon, add them together and multiply by pi. It comes out at 31,667.
Holy crap, they're almost the exact same numbers.
Exactly. There's a 13-mile difference, but 13 miles is nothing when you consider that the ocean rises nearly 27.
Yeah, also go follow Mini Minuteman. Everyone should watch Mini Minuteman. Excellent channel. One of the first good Milos on YouTube.
Miles around the equator.
So what does all of this mean to us, Mr. Patch?
What does it mean? What does it mean? I guess it means that the moon is not just this random satellite that has nothing to do with us. It's there for a reason, for a chance. A chance that we might just make the most important
And you're basing that off of what piece of evidence? Because all of this has just been idle speculation, not actually backed up by any facts.
Decision that we've ever made as a species. And create together a new way of life.
Literal moon logic, indeed, Weirdbeards.
On this planet. It's up to the collective, to all of mankind. Do we choose love? Or do we choose chaos and war?
Why did you choose the Sugar Plum Fairy song for this? This is weird. The vibes are bad.
Maybe a little bit of both from the looks of it right now. But times are changing. This isn't the old world anymore. It's now a matter of survival and collaboration. The moon appears to offer us the opportunity to change, to become aware, to grow. But it won't make the decision for us.
I'm sorry, okay, teleportation is a thing in this religious world view? Okay, interesting.
That's up to us.
Okay, you've officially blown my mind hole clean off. This seems to be evidence of a long-lost secret that has to do with our...
Except the evidence has to have proof, and you haven't presented any. This has just been, what if the moon was created by superheroes? That's literally what you have presented, and there's no evidence of any of the superheroes. And you're saying the lack of evidence, the fact that we thought maybe it was made by superheroes is evidence, and that's just not how evidence works.
Evolution. I wonder if we will realize this mystery in this lifetime. Either way, I still love the moon, man.
Me too. Want some beans?
More than anything ever, Mr. Patch. Anything ever.
What? What is happening? Always great to have a video supposedly trying to be informational about the moon, and one of the first sources you cite is who built the moon. I wonder if it has an agenda. My God. Could the moon be a dragon egg? That would be amazing. I'm sorry. Brought to you by Patchman and the King of Atlantis. I'm sorry. Was the other character in this video supposed to be the King of Atlantis? Because we did not get that, actually. Just some wild revelations thrown in the credits here. Humanity is done for, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, like, basically every generation has thought, well, this is it, and it's just our turn to feel that way right now. But we do have to actually be wary and on our guard and, take action to combat shit like this. As long as there are people fighting to make things better, we're not cooked. We're not fully cooked. I thought the moon was a cheese wheel or something. Genuinely, nothing they said was able to disprove that the moon's made of cheese. This video makes me think calling non-science things science should be fined and the money sent to fund education. Wouldn't that be nice? Anyway, spirit science. Not even once should you uncritically consume spirit science. Not even once. Be on the lookout for this fascist nonsense.
Riverboat deck is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're